Good evening, squaddies. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you are all doing okay. It's now officially a much warmer climate in London. I don't know if this is going to persist. I was going to say it's now officially summer, but that's not true because anything can change. And honestly, I can't believe it's May already. Please continue to share, like, subscribe, watch my videos, guys. Please, 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 let's build the engagement. My views are not as high as they used to be. Please let me know if you have any issue with my content. I feel like I'm giving you guys enough, but like, let me know if there's anything you'd like me to update and improve. Or maybe it's just generally people are just not. Do you know what I'm thinking, guys? I think because of the fact that Megan has come back on Instagram, it feels like the rota is not as effective as they used to be because now she's here. We can hear directly from her. So a lot of the narratives at this point are desperate. Who knows? Either way, please continue to like and engage with my content. I have a little bit of a roundup, a mini roundup, because quite a lot has happened while I was away at work. I was going through my phone as I was commuting back home, and I thought, okay, these are the interesting topics that I'd like us to quickly cover this evening. So let's start with shout out to Nico Mac. I enjoy this person. I was going to say him because of the picture, but it might not be a man or a woman. So whoever you are, shout out to you. I do enjoy that content. Now, this is an excerpt from GB News, and I haven't watched it yet, but just from the commentary, I have a feeling that it might be interesting. Now, for those of you that are wondering what the context is, let me scroll up a bit. Shout out to Queens Are Made. Also on Twitter, please continue to follow everybody that I post, guys, if you're on X. Now, it's very interesting that, I appreciate her for putting this together. So we all know that after the sexy, glossy Harry and Meghan pic and video from Beyonce's concert, which went super viral. In fact, I think I have a screenshot of it. I'll scroll up. Almost every major post that retweeted or posted Harry and Meghan posing together from Beyonce's website had like at least 20 million views, which is incredible. And if you look at the comments, they were even if you're a hater, it was mainly just engagement. But a lot of the comments were very complimentary. They were saying, "Oh wow, beautiful couple, sexy couple," and that's exactly what I was talking about right at the beginning of the video. It might be part of the reason why the engagement has gone down, which is okay. Honestly, you know what? If it's that people are beginning to get to a point where they feel more at ease because of the hate Meghan gets. Because the hate Meghan gets is counteracted by the fact that this is all BS. Her With Love Meghan show was very successful for a show that was a lifetime show, and at its first launch, it got to top 10 in so many countries that first week. Her brand sold out in an hour, or at least the first batch of her brand sold out in an hour. And of course, we're seeing her out and about, so it's really, and of course, her being on Instagram, it's just killing all these narratives. That unease that used to hang on our shoulders. I never believed for a second any of the nonsense in the press, but I can see how people who liked her felt for years. They were being kicked over and over with negativity, because it's hard to fight for someone who doesn't show up the way she's doing now. I mean, you can say what you want, you can argue with the Rangers all you want, but it's easy for people to control the narrative if they flood the inbox or the timeline with negative articles and there's no response. I think Still Dre mentioned it, that one of the things, and I said it myself, the only thing I would ever criticize the Harry and Meghan for, and again, they don't have to listen to me, but I personally think that their PR could have been so much better. But then again, on the other side too, it might very well be it was a deliberate choice, or it might just very well be that it was a trial and error period. They tried the wall of silence, they got bashed and destroyed, and it's why I don't do it anymore. The industry of hate grew, in my opinion, because of that wall of silence. And don't forget, they were still trying to get their coins up. So it's not like they could just hire they couldn't just hire, if that makes sense. They had to lay the groundwork down, pay for their, or at least settle a lot, because that home, I have no idea if it's mortgaged or bought. But when you put down that much money and you have to, also pay for your security, I can understand why they may not have necessarily had the robust funds needed to do what needed to be done. And I'm not saying they are there yet, But I mean, I'm very confident they will, because by the time Megan sells as ever, anyway, let's not jump the gun. Sorry for going off on a tangent. I'm just trying to explain the reasons why I feel they may not have been able to respond the way they are responding now. And even now, to be fair, I don't really think their PR strategy has changed much. It's just Megan is back on Instagram and she's talking to us directly. So we don't have to wait for the rota to misinterpret, to lie, to pretend that they have insiders when we all know they don't. And of course, seeing them out and about, that Beyonce thing is, I hope they take the message from that as people want to see you. Don't listen to the rota, don't listen to the press. We want to see you. I'm not saying that you need to be out every day if you don't have to be. But when we see you, we are fans. We like you. And I know Megan mentioned in her podcast that while she knew she would get some attention, you never really know, right? So I'm hoping that now that her products are selling out and her shows are doing well and she's recognizing that there's actually hard numbers of people, no matter how small or how big, who will support her, I'm hoping this means that she will be more confident to come out more. Again, not by force. I'm not forcing anybody. I'm not saying we have to see her. But I'm just saying that this past 5 months have just been, I feel so... Is the word relieved? It's like every day it just keeps on getting better. Again, apologies for going off on a tangent. The reason I bring this up is so Jack Royston slapped ass, Chris shipwrecked, Cameron Walker and this idiot Russell Davies. You see, they've been giving their matching orders, and I agree, because look at this nonsense. Meghan's popularity hits all-time low in new poll. Meghan's fan base in Britain is at its smallest ever, with just 20% saying they like her in a new YouGov survey. Of course, it's the same rubbish that is being repeated. So again, that's why I said they've been giving their working papers. As they said, they're in a WhatsApp. Now, I want us to use critical thinking. This is why this is not working. You can't say Meghan is hated. And it's interesting, notice what they said in the UK. In the UK. Why? Because the American narrative no longer makes sense. As even if you want to say how with love Meghan was a fluke, it was just hate watching. Who was buying her products? I know that the Rangers are crazy, but most people don't buy. I don't buy from people I don't like. If I don't like your stuff, why the hell am I spending my hard-earned money to support you? The fuck? Excuse me. It's like saying that, oh, I'm not a fan of Blake Lively because of how she treated Justin Baldoni. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy her hair products. Does that make sense? It doesn't. If you're buying, even if you're buying it for content, I hope you are aware it's entering her pockets. So you morons. And even then, I do not believe by any stretch of the imagination the people that hate Meghan are as big as they say they are. By any stretch of the imagination. Why? Because guys, if we follow what X tells us, right? Don't forget this is all algorithm. If I follow what X tells me, then why is Donald Trump president? Just because somebody is engaging, is saying nonsense online, many of which are bots, by the way, doesn't mean that they're not participating. So like I said, whether you are watching Meghan stuff for hate, you're buying Meghan stuff for hate, you are actually putting money in her pocket, you are giving her ratings. So it's kind of like, that's why I said, I always say that the Rangers have boxed themselves into a corner. They can't not talk about her because many of them, their channels need her. So by talking about her, they're keeping her in the news, which is a way for her to keep her popularity up, and for her to sell. So I guess, like I always do, shout out to the haters. So yeah, like I said, they've been giving their working papers. The narrative is now in the UK because the numbers from the US doesn't really make any sense. She wouldn't have sold out if she was hated as much as they're saying that they... And to be fair, even if she was hated, even if it's just 20%, let me apply that number to the UK even. 20% of I think they said we are about 60 million, I think, I don't know. 20% of 60 million. Let's assume, obviously, they didn't poll the whole UK. Let's say they went to only Brexit areas. They only went to royalists who hate her. Let me throw a wild number, 1 million. That's 200. That's 200. That's... Am I crazy? Yeah, that's 200,000. If 200,000 people buy Meghan stuff in the UK, that's not bad for a new brand. And don't forget, as they buy, there'll be word of mouth, right? So by word of mouth, people's audience grows, people's audience, and again, well, because I'm very confident that with Netflix, Megan is going to either be bought over or might collaborate with retailers to market her goods at scale, especially internationally. So the numbers can only go up. So I don't know, this poll is stupid. I'm not impacted by it. I think it's hilarious. And I'm only showing you this information so that we can watch this video. Because this video is funny. Let me show you.
Criticizing.
Oh, sorry.
Don't even live here. That there are some people in this country who enjoy a little bit too much constantly criticizing Harry and Meghan when they don't even live here anymore. Well, why are you polling this? They're not up for election. Do we need an opinion poll on Meghan Markle's popularity? Is this just another way of having a dig at her?
I mean, it is an interesting point because, of course, some of these royals on the poll are not working members of the royal family, so therefore, do we actually care?
They're not members of public interest, yeah.
They are, I suppose, but look, the public are interested.
They are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
I don't even need to say anymore. That's enough. Why are you polling? Who gives a shit? And they're right. I mean, I'm very sure the average person, because I always talk about it, what's going on in the UK. I'm sure the average person in the UK right now is more concerned about the fact that they can't get jobs, more concerned about the fact that they are scared they will lose their jobs, more concerned about the fact that how are they going to survive, more concerned about the fact that Labour have recently passed immigration rules that are going to hurt millions of people. I don't think they honestly and truly do not give the other side of a shit about the royal family. No offense, even Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan are living their millionaire lifestyle. Kate and William are living their millionaire lifestyle. This is just celebrity style back and forth. So these polls are stupid. They're just here for the royal rota to, as she rightly said, have a dig at her. It does nothing, it adds nothing, and it's certainly not slowing her down. She's still selling out. Her shows are getting renewed. Her popularity is... And there's something I'm going to talk about when it comes to the Sussex Squad and people that support Meghan and finance, because it's very important. So, again, another useless poll that is doing nothing but making the haters feel better about themselves. Clowns. Oh, yes, my fave. So this is another Nigerian sister. I wouldn't say, well, Jackie, I know is messy. I forget her new surname because she is married, but she's a big Meghan fan. Meghan, if you're watching this, if your people are watching this, can you please send her a gift basket or at least collaborate with this woman? She has 1 million followers on TikTok. I know you don't need it, but it'd be nice for these influencers, right? I want to see Meghan with more black women. I'll just say it. I mean, I'm not saying, and again, I'm not asking her to be inauthentic. I'm not saying she doesn't have any, but I want her to promote more black influencers if she can. I can understand her staying away from the more scandalous ones, but even if it's someone that, because she said something on her podcast about using her platform to help people grow, even if it's somebody that is random that she's never met before, I think that's worth it, you know. I think so anyway. So let's listen to Jackie.
Instructions talking about this lady for years because the discourse around, like, I'm a person, like, something needs to make sense in order for me to contribute to the discourse. Nothing about the way people talk about Meghan Markle makes sense. Excuse me, Meghan Sussex, because we respect people's names and titles in this household. But why don't weird people know when they're being weird? The way people talk about her, the amount, like, all she has to do is say, boo. Why don't weird people know when they're weird? The discourse surrounding her does not make sense.
Yep.
The punishment never fits the crime. She will do a crumb. Like, she will do a crumb, and it causes pandemonium, chaos, destruction. She's a narcissist. She's a liar. What? I just literally saw an interview of her on the Drew Barrymore show, and it was like one of those, like, rapid fire question sessions, and Drew was asking her, like, all these questions, like personal things that, like, only she would know. People in the comments, she's a liar. How the hell did... I don't get it. Fun fact, me and her have the same birthday. Notice any reoccurring themes? Whoa, that vein. Just saying. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. And Bethany Frankel, I don't know why you follow me, but step up to the plate. If you knew how to Meghan Markle better than Meghan Markle, you would be married to the prince, but you're not. Who said that? Who said that? No, I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying, like why? I have avoided that woman specifically talking about Megan Sussex for a while. Like, genuinely gives me a headache. She won't stop. Like, Bethany, didn't you sell Skinny Girl, the Skinny Girl empire for like you got a pretty big chunk of change. Like, I'm not saying that you're not doing that, but if she's not making the moves that you think.
So because I don't want it to play on, but yeah, so it stops at the point I stopped it. So basically, I agree. Bethany Frankel, who I don't even talk about because I don't engage with thirsty, old, busted. You see how ridiculous she looks, right? She literally looks like dried fish. She looks a mess, frankly. So yeah, it's really a thing of. We said it so many times. So I'm not going to repeat it. If you hate Meghan at this point, well. Mental health. Anyway, let's leave that nonsense and let's get to the tea. Duchess Meghan keeps teasing us. I'm getting an impression. Again, guys, I am not on Instagram. Don't shout at me. Shout out to Zandy Sussex. So Meghan has refreshed her Instagram and I'm guessing she's releasing tea. I don't know if it's the next batch of As Ever Meghan. I know you're not going to see this, but can you please... I need you to make this stuff internationally available. I know you probably can't sell the jam, which is actually pissing me off, but it's okay. I'm happy to miss the jam for now because I know eventually you will scale. But at least give us the tea, damn. Give us... What else was she... I know the honey is the most impossible because that sells out. But at least give us the tea. Or the cookie mix. Or what's the other one, guys? Cookie mix tea. I want the flour sprinkles. Somebody was saying that she might collaborate with Akila Relaford. I'd love to. I would love that. Jesus, can you imagine if Meghan has an As Love Meghan episode and she has Jackie Aina and she has Akila? That would be Black Girl Magic. Incredible. I would love it. But yeah, Meghan, please ignore the British. You're a founder. You're dealing in numbers. At least just try, even if it's a small batch in the UK. See your international interest and let's see if you can scale, right? Give us a chance to spend our money. Sussex Squad want to spend money, yo. Anyway, of course, guys, one thing to also call out, the Sussexes have now been married for 7 years. Let me move my face down so you can look at this. Please, haters, lovers, name a sexier royal couple. I'll wait. Well, look at this. Come on. Hollywood is, it's giving Hollywood glossy. It's giving sexy. Her dress, his suit, his swag. Ooh. He won. The way Harry, even his hairline even looks immaculate, which shocks me, actually. Wow. That's incredible. I didn't realize he had this much hair. Wow. Okay, Harry. I keep telling you guys, maybe he's not balding as much as we think he is. Or maybe because he's happy. Because I don't know, many of you didn't see my natural hair video, but something I said there was the way you people treat your hair, talk about your hair, has an impact. If you don't touch your hair, you don't caress your hair, you don't treat your hair like something you love, these things matter. You don't take care of something you don't like. So it's very possible that and I really do think that our body is our spiritual. That's why when you're depressed, sometimes you have pimples. Hormones move, right? Men have hormones too. So I think the reason why his hair was staying on lock was he was incredibly happy to be marrying the woman he loves. I think the reason why his hair is surviving now is people were saying he had implants. I don't think so. But it wouldn't surprise me if Harry is using Secret. There, I said it. He might very well be using the drops. But of course, Harry will never let us know about that. Somebody was saying that it'd be nice if Harry starts, if Harry does like a Dior, does what Meghan is doing, just creates his own Shop Me page. I understand why he wouldn't want to because he's a prince and I don't think he wants the backlash that'll come with it. But guys, if Harry starts posting, I don't even think he needs to do it directly. I think just giving people a hint, this is a Dior suit or something. They need to find a way to do it that it's not so obvious. Because I don't know. Look, left to me, if Harry opened a Shop Me page, at this point, we know they are working. I wouldn't mind. Maybe he just doesn't want to deal with, he's probably worried about the backlash against Meghan. But Harry, look, I really do think because of your wife and because of your swagger, there's money here, my guy. Figure it out. I'm sure he will work something out. I can see the possibilities. Of course. Billy Baldy looking, I mean, come on. William looks so much old, but you know what, let me not be shady yet. So apparently, once again, guys, they are recycling this nonsense of William not inviting Harry to the coronation, and I'll be very honest, nobody cares. All it's going to do is make you look bad. We all know Harry is the only reason why anybody's going to watch that nonsense. I certainly won't watch it. The coronation, I didn't watch the coronation. I only watched to see Harry come in and leave. That was it. And even then, somebody very kindly just took all the shots of him being there for 5. I think altogether it's up to 5 minutes now. I was like, that's all I need. I didn't watch the whole thing. So if you're not going to invite the real star, I can't be bothered. I'll quickly run it through. The Windsors have a huge... Oh, sorry. Shout out to Kaiser Celeb Bitchy. The Windsors have a huge problem. Scratch that, they have dozens of huge problems. But one of the biggest and funniest is that they throw tantrums over every little thing Prince Harry says, does, or writes. For 5 years, every time Harry opens his mouth, the Windsors bitch and complain and threaten to take away this or that. When everything Harry says is treated like a 5-alarm fire, yes, it does the effect of threats and punishments. T. So it is these days with the latest thing from Harry, his BBC interview less than 2 weeks ago. I forgot exactly what Harry did last year, which pissed them off so badly. I think it was the royal trips, but there are 2 separate briefing campaigns months apart in which, quote, sources thrashed around screaming that Prince Harry will never invite his brother to his coronation. Okay. As said, guys, this is being dusted off again. I don't know who they are quoting, but let's read it from quotes. Prince William and Prince Harry's fallout is so bad that insiders fear that Harry will not attend his brother's future coronation. I like how they worded that because that is correct. They fear because they know that if Harry does not come, nobody's going to watch that garbage. The pair have not spoken in about 2 years, and a source in the note told Page 6 they could not see Harry attending the coronation. This is the same source that told us that Harry wasn't coming to the King's coronation, that wasted our time going back and forth on whether Meghan was going, when we all knew that Meghan wasn't going to show up. But that's neither here nor there. Musing that William may not even invite him. So... this, again, right from the first paragraph, this is a non-story. This is just speculation. In the wake of Harry's extraordinary BBC interview, in which he rightly said King Charles won't speak to him, and the source said, I think it's done. I don't think there's any coming back from that. Before the interview, we thought, come on, William, extend a hand to your brother. But now it seems that Harry hasn't learned shit. Okay. In the wake of, Sussex insiders. What? So I think we can, in short, from the first paragraph, we knew this was utter and complete nonsense. But this Sussex insiders, I feel like the only people that still believe that Harry is talking to the press is, I don't even know. Maybe you're like a turbocharged deranger who hasn't been following royal, or you're somebody that is so new to royal news, you can't decipher between BS and fact. Or you maybe have never heard Harry talk in his own interviews where he said, I don't do leaks, I'm not playing the PR game. When you want to hear from anybody, I personally will come forward with my 2 eyes, my 2 legs, and talk myself. So if you never heard any of that, that's why you will believe this nonsense, Sussex insiders. But let me read it anyway. However, insists that Harry is keen to make amends with his family. He already said that in the Anyway, I would love reconciliation with my family. Okay. They just said Sussex insiders, but while quoting his interview. So basically, they have no insiders. Yeah, Hugo Vickers, author and friend of the royal family. I'm very, very sure, guys, and I'm not even joking. This man will walk in front of Camilla. Camilla will not know who he is, as will Charles. Told Page 6 that theoretically, William should invite his younger brother to the coronation, but quite frankly, he can do what he likes. This does sound like Hugo Vickers. He will say one thing and in the next sentence contradict himself. Idiot. But quite frankly, he can do what he likes. It is not set in stone. The Duke of Windsor was not invited to his niece, Queen Elizabeth's coronation in 1953. There was a lot of discussion about it. Yes, because these are the two exact same circumstances. Despite reports that William plans to strip Harry and Meghan of their HRH title, which he cannot do, by the way, when he ascends the throne. Vickers said he cannot imagine this will happen. We know that William is unforgiving anyway. Yes, that's a very nice thing to say about your future monarch. But he won't strip Harry and Meghan of their titles. It appears vindictive. The source agreed. Who's the source? This is like a joke. William won't strip them of their titles because they are irrelevant, meaningless, and pointless at this point. He's right, actually. With or without those titles, Harry and Meghan is a brand. Cry more. No one thinks Harry and Meghan are royal anyway. The Prime Minister of Ukraine does. He called her HRH. I call her HRH. We all do. Meghan, if you like, strip Harry of his titles, strip him of Sussex. Harry is still the biological son of the king, so that one's people's business. And don't forget, from what I've heard, if they strip them of the Sussex title, it now becomes Prince Harry and Princess Meghan, which I know would kill all the Karens that have pressed about Harry and Meghan. Anyway, although Harry will be covered with extensive security when he returns for any major events that are attended by senior working royals, the source says he will get the same amount of security, but the royal family are not going to want him there. Yes, because he will literally vacuum all the attention. Charles wasted our taxpayer money to go on a vacation with him and his wife, and actually took the red arrows with him, which nobody is questioning. Nobody is questioning that Charles took the red arrows at great significant cost to the British taxpayer to Rome for a pointless journey. And all Harry had to do was show up one day to a case, and nobody was talking about Charles. I was dying with laughter. Anyway, quotes from Celeb Bitchy. I don't think there's any coming back from that. What? Harry saying he doesn't know how much time Charles has left. William is mad about that because William is also acting like Charles has one foot in the pyre, and surely all of this is what William will do when he's kings. Exactly, are just as disrespectful, if not more so. As for William's coronation, I don't think Harry will be invited, and nor do I think Harry ultimately will want to go. But as I theorized recently, the bigger question is, will William allow Harry to come back to the UK for their father's funeral? Will William ensure Harry's safety for that? But that's a very good question. I think William is petty enough to make it difficult for him. But again, and I want the rota to listen to me and not their delusions, this will only make William look bad. This Charles thing already is making Charles look very bad. As in, this is the only thing he's literally going to be remembered for his reign. None of his posts get any engagement when he's unveiling his ridiculous painting or when he's going for his charities that I don't even know anything about. None of them get any engagement until it is time to bring up Harry. So use that information as you will. So Feminegra has a wonderful post. You know this is a Feminegra stan account. But before I play that, I want to do something. Sometimes I forget how much Harry loves his wife. But you know what? No. I'll wait till the end. Let me read the article, then I'll wait till the end. I have a treat for you guys. So shout out to Feminegra again, guys. If you're not, please join her newsletter. Meghan Sussex is popular. No YouGov poll can change that. We just spoke about it now. The latest Meghan Sussex YouGov poll shows her UK favorability rating has dropped to its lowest level since 2017. With just 27% of respondents holding a positive view and 65% expressing a negative one. As usual, the British media have rushed to amplify results. Headlines from Newsweek, Daily Express, and The Mirror framed the numbers as a personal defeat. Some even compared her to Prince Andrew. What? Anyway, who polled lower but received far less scrutiny, which just goes to show how stupid this whole thing is. But there's a deeper story behind these pointless headlines. Meghan is no longer a working royal. Clock it. Lives in California and holds no public office. So why does the British press continue to pull her and weaponize the results? The answer is distraction. Yep. The timing of this latest royal favorability YouGov poll coincides with a growing wave of criticism toward the monarchy. And as always, when the royal PR flounders, who's the next punching bag? Sadly, Meghan. Royal reporters or royal PR. Within minutes, royal reporters were almost orgasming with excitement to post that pointless non-story on their social media. All reinforcing the same message. Meghan Sussex is unpopular. William and Kate are untouchable. This isn't new. Former BBC royal correspondent Peter Hunt has previously explained how the palace aids shape coverage through off-the-record briefings and WhatsApp groups, especially when controlling narratives around cruel King Charles's decisions, including his refusal to invite his son and provide him security to come to the UK. And a friendly and a wonderful reminder, Charles has not seen his grandchildren in 5 years. Do with that information what you will. Shipwrecked, ITV's royal editor opened the coordinated push, because of course he does. His tweet framed with numbers with sharp contrast: 75% approval for William, 5% for Andrew, and Meghan lumped in just above. His tone mirrored the palace's PR message, precise, clinical, and conveniently timed. Jack Royston, which I just showed you, tweeted, Meghan's fan base is as its smallest, highlighting her 20% without asking why she's even polled. Thank you. He used a viral picture of Harry and Meghan from the Beyonce Cowboy Carter date night, a moment that debunked divorce rumors and had social media swooning and drooling over their chemistry. I'm going to just say something now. Don't judge me. That video of Harry kissing Meghan's cheek, it makes me horny. Yep. I am not ashamed to say it. I am horny for that kind of love, for a man to like just publicly be absolutely so gone on me. He doesn't give a damn. He's filming me and kissing my cheek and making me feel so good. You know, they smashed when they go home, or before they got there, or both, because we also that denim dress. Somebody said something on Twitter. I forget. I think it was Zandy or somebody else. I was like, they wish his hand was lower, like grabbing her ass. I was like, yes. I think it would have broken the internet. I mean, that picture, I think, broke the internet, but I think, okay. Which is why, I'm not even going to bring that up. Right, anyway, pairing that image with a story about rejection wasn't ironic. It was calculated. Russell Myers, the one that was trying to convince us that Kate is apparently some sort of the face of cancer, apparently, which is both insulting. I don't even know how to... Anyway, royal editor for Daily Mirror tied it together. His tweet repeatedly nearly identical language to the others, calling Meghan's popularity an all-time low, while celebrating William and Kate's approval ratings. His chat-heavy post tried to wrap the entire narrative in credibility. Nonsense. Cameron Walker, who is... I agree, he's quite dramatic. Is there a way she can win back public support? As if Meghan Sussex were running a political campaign rather than living a private life in California. GB News has a known editorial bias toward defending the monarchy and sensationalizing every move Meghan makes. These aren't coordinated tweets. They are They are traffic strategies. As Mail Online's, yes, I forgot to post this. As Mail Online's own SEO director recently admitted, the outlet is losing click-throughs to Google's AI overviews and is now prioritizing resilient brand secret searches like Meghan Markle Daily Mail. I hope Harry takes that information and adds it to his lawsuit next year. In other words, they don't cover Meghan because she's newsworthy. They cover her because she ranks T. They say Meghan is the problem, but the numbers say otherwise. Meghan no longer receives taxpayer money, unlike Billy. She isn't skipping public duties or disappearing on holidays, like Kate Middleton. She hasn't faced scrutiny over royal finances like King Charles and William, by the way. And she has no public scandals on record, unlike pervert Prince Andrew. Yet, despite all this, she remains the preferred target of media hostility. The latest YouGov was released just days before Harry and Meghan's 7th wedding anniversary. Guys, it's coming up soon. We need to show up for the. In short, I think we are going to have a live. We're going to celebrate. There's going to be a live. I'm going to try and find as many of their greatest hits videos, and we can go through it together. But like I said, I have a treat for you at the end. It followed another wave of royal commentary criticizing her work popularity and her continued presence in public discourse. This because her name continues to overshadow the ones that they would rather protect. Poll coverage hides scandals behind Meghan's Sussex's popularity rating. While the media turned towards Meghan's polling number, far more consequential royal stories have unfolded. Yes, Kate Middleton's new nature video faced mockery from supporters and media alike, including a scathing review by the Daily Beast that called the series smug and out of touch. Online, even royal fans questioned why Kate, absent from duties for months, chose to release scripted videos instead of resuming her work. See? I love how this man just posts the facts. Nature queen by day, pheasant hunter by night. Sorry, by morning. Wow. Meanwhile, the UK public learned that royal funding has tripled. Oh yeah, I remember that since 2012, largely due to Buckingham Palace renovations. Channel 4 dispatches revealed last year Prince William's rental properties failed to meet basic living standards, with some tenants living in homes with black mold. The Guardian covered that William and Charles earned millions from leasing land to schools. Take note of this, guys. The NHS and military services. And of course, from the video I posted yesterday, the air, apparently. All while William, Harry, and Meghan Sussex remain financially independent. And yet, headlines read, Meghan Sussex's popularity hits record low. Not royal estates profit from public services, or future king's tenants suffer in fuel poverty. During the televised debate, Republic CEO Graham Smith dismantled the royal PR narrative. He pointed out that Prince Harry worked only 4 days in the last month, yes, most of them near his home. Smith also noted that independent studies found the royal family's impact on charity to be close to zero, yet media coverage keeps returning to Meghan's favorability score, ignoring the royals who cost the public millions of pounds. The media prefers Meghan as a shield, not a subject. Yes, Meghan Markle's YouGov poll popularity rating has become a tool not to measure public sentiment, no, but to deflect from the monarchy's failures. Every time criticism mounts, whether about finances, transparency, or support, the press pivots. They rerun the same old story. Meghan is unpopular. Meghan is irrelevant. Meghan is to blame. The polling numbers may be real, but how representative is a sample of just 2,231 people in a country of 67 million? The narrative they serve is carefully constructed and far from impartial. Curiously, no one ever questions whether King Charles should even be king. Ooh, I love that new angle. If his son William is supposedly more popular, isn't that a red flag? Shouldn't the heir the public actually prefers be the one wearing the crown? Ooh. But of course, this isn't a democracy. The monarchy survives on inheritance, not approval ratings. The public doesn't vote. Their preferences don't matter. That's how Charles and Camilla became king, despite consistently low favorability and without either ever recovering from the damage of their marital infidelities. Meghan Sussex is not the issue. She is the distraction. The public trust in the monarchy erodes, criticism mounts, and the headlines get louder. But they are aimed at the wrong royal. The real question is who benefits from keeping it that way. I mean, it's pretty clear. Like I said, guys, please support Feminegra. She's doing the Lord's work, and I agree with everything she said. T. Now here is my treat as we end the video. You know, there are times when I listen to Harry's book a lot, yeah, and he's just a beautiful. I know he had a ghostwriter, but the way he talks about his wife, God, may we all find someone to love us like that. This is so beautiful, and I just wanted to share it with you guys as we approach Harry and Meghan's 7th anniversary.
Now I could hear her as I smelt the garden and considered this new life, cherished this new life. Meg was sitting on the other side of the kitchen, scooping Wagamama from cartons into bowls. Without thinking, I blurted out, I don't know. I had my back to her. I froze mid-sentence, hesitant to go on, hesitant to turn around. You don't know what, Has? Yes? I love you. I listened for a response. There was none. Now I could hear her, or feel her, walking towards me. I turned, and there she was, right before me. I love you too, Has.
Oh.
The words had been on the tip of my tongue, almost from the start. So in one sense, they didn't feel particularly revelatory, or even necessary. Of course I loved her. Meg knew that. Meg could see it. The whole world could. I loved her with all my heart, as I'd never loved anyone before. And yet saying it made everything real. Saying it set things in motion, automatically. Saying it was a step.
Oh, as we prepare to celebrate our favorite royal couple, the sexiest royal couple, the most resilient, and honestly, the only royal couple that is worth talking about and that actually does any work, I would like to send my hearty congratulations to Harry and Meghan. And I would like to send my, you know what, Harry, I was never your fan. I'm kind of okay with you now because you're all right for a white guy who has the colonial blood the colonial blood of your evil ancestors. You have tried to make yourself a better person, and in this world, in this life, I can't. We literally cannot ask for more than that. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please continue to like, subscribe, support. I don't know. I can't remember what exact day. I'll check it on ChatGPT. But we can check. We can start preparing for their anniversary. Like I said, we're going to have a live. I'm going to find as much content as I can. It's going to be a live about love, appreciation. I'll probably try and look for some summaries from their wedding, from their courting, when they first started dating, from the engagement, so we can all together. And yeah, I'm hoping to make it as positive as possible, and maybe I might drag some derangers because they'll be triggered. I'll look for some people to drag as well so we can laugh at them. And yeah, continue to support my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for continuing to promote my work. It's not easy doing this stuff. And yeah, thank you and have a good one. Take care.